Hey, tomorrow's Monday Night Football game might not be too hot on paper, but Green Bay and the Giants are kind of like that one. This being played on New York's home field. They're laying 3, by the way, the New York Giants, total of 50.5. And, Brian, we're going to get you a free pick in just a moment. But, here's Green Bay, man. They found a way to win against Detroit. And I had the Lions last week, and it really stunk because we were getting, 3.5, and 20-14 with just a couple of minutes to go in the game. And you're thinking, hey, worse comes worse. Detroit loses 21-20. We cash our tickets. Instead, Detroit makes a couple of errors, and they end up losing the game 24-20, giving up 10 points in the final 2 or 3 minutes of the game. But I'll say this for Green Bay that I was impressed with. Ton of injuries on the defensive side. Clay Matthews wasn't healthy, but they got to Stafford 5 times for 5 sacks.
Yeah, to bring up that Detroit.
I was with you, though.
Well, I didn't give it up, but I bet it because I got a good number.
Right.
As soon as they got to the point where they're going for it on 4th and down in their own territory, I said, this is it right here. I could see it coming, and we've been through this too many times in the past. It's a situation. It's actually a big revenge game for the Packers. They go 15-1. They go into the playoffs. Giants knock them off. Both those games last year, they played twice last year. Both really good games, real high-scoring, offensive games. I'm looking for another one here. I think there's going to be a lot of scoring here. Eli Manning, if you've been watching him, hasn't looked the same. And at our Tuesday meeting, one of the other handicappers there pointed out that he's had problems with his arm, and with the extra week, with the bye, he's feeling much better. The throws are more accurate, stronger, which means he can go downfield, which he wasn't able to do before. And this is one of those games. There's been a lot of bad football games on national TV this year. This one should be a really good one.
Marco, Green Bay barely topped 300 yards in that win against Detroit, finished with just 16 first downs, but they took advantage of 4 Detroit turnovers. Man, I got to quit this. This has put me in a bad mood here. Not just Brian, but the thing I thought that was impressive, though, again, was that pass rush without Clay Matthews. And they're hoping to get some healthy bodies back. By the way, last year, name dropping here, I was sitting in Nick Mackay's house when the Packers played the New York Giants. Couldn't get him to do the salsa, though, after the touchdowns were scored. But anyway, what say you on this one? Giants laying 3, total of 50.5.
Well, I'm looking at this game, and the Giants are coming off their bye week. And I've always said that teams going into the bye week, when they go in on a sour note, they come out with fire, vengeance when they come out. And you can't go in any more sour than losing to the Cincinnati Bengals 31-13. So off of that bad loss, the Giants are kind of the forgotten team. And they lost the week before. They played Pittsburgh. Well, if you look at the month of games that they had prior to that Cincinnati game, it was a rough stretch for them. They went out to San Francisco, that big revenge game for the 49ers, and they just clobbered them 26-3. Then they came back home, played Washington. They won the game again. They probably should have lost that game against the Redskins, but, it was off of the big 49er win, and they had Dallas on deck. Then they played the big game against Dallas. Then they played a big game against the Steelers. When they went to Cincinnati, we talk about it all the time on the show. What's the least important game on a team schedule? Road non-conference game. And it was the week before the bye, and everybody's been floating that stat around about teams the week before the bye, how bad they've played. So I'm giving them a pass on the Cincinnati game. I think they come out totally focused, and they're going to take it to Green Bay. And Green Bay, they were lucky to win last week. I think they get exposed this week.
The Giants won that game last year in the playoffs by 17 points at Lambeau Field. So Green Bay's going to have that on their mind for what it's worth to exact a little bit of revenge. But, Brian, as we throw this to you for your free pick, man, the Packers have shifted a lot of linemen around right now up front on offense, although I think Aaron Rodgers, the type of quarterback he is, can kind of make up for that buying time for his receivers to get open. This is your free pick.
Yeah, the Packers have had offensive line problems all year long. They haven't been able to run the football. They continue to put points on the board. The Giants coming off the bye and going into the bye, they not only lost the game prior, they lost the game prior to that, both against non-conference opponents. You got them coming back now. Could be a really intense game. Both teams know they got to put points on the board. It's one of those games where if the other team is going to come back on you, you know they're going to come back on you. Neither one of these teams is going to shut down defensively. Each team is going to be looking to put as many points on the board as they can. We're playing this game over. The line's moving up a little bit as we speak, but I think this game's going to end up even higher. We're going to play this game over the total.
Everybody's upset about Eli Manning and the New York Giants. Isn't this what they do? They tick everybody off all season long. They go 9-7, and then they win the Super Bowl. Anyway, I'm not Phil Simms. I'm not worried about Eli Manning. Bryan Leonard says take over 50.5, the Packers and the Giants. When we come back, it's Monday Night Football, Carolina and Philly. I know that gets the juices flowing. Marco's got a pick on that. Stick around.